1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hi, my name is Addison Davis, and this is my informative speech. What would you do if you were accused of witchcraft in 1692? Today, I will be informing you about the Salem witch trials and how they became one of the scariest occurrences in American history. The trials were extremely vicious, causing people to disagree amongst one another and turn backs on each other also. This led to many brawls and executions. By learning about this trial, you will hopefully get a deeper understanding of how horrible the accused were treated and how horrifying it must have been to be a part of this time period. I am not a history teacher, however, I love talking about history and learning about certain events like the one I am talking about today. This encourages me to share all that I have learned with my peers. First, I'm going to talk about how the accusations started. Then, I'm going to talk about the accused and why they were brought to be accused. Then, I'm going to talk about the executions and the methods that follow. And then finally, I'm going to talk about the ending. Let's hop into a time machine taking us back to Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. According to pintoday.unpin.edu, in a house was a minister of the name Samuel Parris, his wife Elizabeth, his daughter Betty, his son Thomas, and two others who were also residing in the Parris residence, Abigail Williams, who is the niece of the minister, and Tituba, the household slave. Betty and Abigail decided that one day it was a good idea to hold a fortune reading secret. However, fortune telling was like today's Ouija board. It was told to hold demonic possession, and when possessed, all that did so. Shortly after their extravaganza, Betty starts to demonstrate odd behaviors, like barking like a dog, hiding under furniture, and screaming and yelling that something was pinching and poking her, although no one was there to do so. This frightened the minister, leading him to have some sort of exorcism on his daughter to release the demonic out of his daughter Betty. Later on, probably a week or so, Abigail starts to experience the same episodes. This led the minister to call the town's doctor, who later diagnosed the two girls with bewitchment and that they were highly contagious. All of these episodes led the community to start what they called the witch hunt, looking for the suspicious and anyone out of the ordinary who could have been putting ideas into the girls' heads or casting spells on them to make them act out. After these events with the minister's family led to the real trials and executions. According to salem.lib.virginia.edu, the woman who was accused after the girls had experienced the episodes was their household slave, Tituba. She was Native American, so no matter what she said, no one was going to listen to her. Because of her race, and she was a lower class person. The next witch was Sarah Good. The reason she was accused was for her past. She was never of any wealth and had 2 husbands and 2 young kids, all within her lifetime. She was considered a beggar and was homeless half of her life, looking to rent people's rooms in their homes. Her reputation was socially unpleasant, causing her to be accused. How come people were killed based off beliefs and how they felt or looked? According to mass.gov, the executions during these events were most brutal. Stones being pushed on someone's body until they confessed or died. The hanging on Gallows Hill, which the 2 people that I had mentioned earlier were hung together. Burned at the stake, and a way to prove that women were witches was to tie them to a chair, dunk them underwater. If they floated, they were a witch. If they sunk, they were innocent. But if they were innocent, they drowned because they were held under for too long. At least 26 people died, 19 women, 1 person tortured to death, and 6 in prison. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. After all the brutal things that had happened to those innocent people, they finally decided to end it 1 year later, in May of 1693. The judges could not accept any more spectral evidence. Now that we're back in 2024, no one really cares about what you do religiously. Let's begin this conclusion by regarding what was discussed. No one can't quite figure out why witchcraft was even an optional accusation. However, the Salem witch trials were one of the most brutal events in American history. A minister and his daughter, and a niece, and a slave led to all this witchcraft extravaganza. The accused were later put in jail or executed brutally. If you are willing to learn more about this event, you will get a deeper understanding of what truly happened. We do not have to have a history major to learn about the past and how it could potentially change the world. I hope you enjoyed some interesting, informative facts about the Salem witch trials. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.